Hi everyone, and welcome to my review of the GS Audio GD5 1+4 hybrid from them, which has been just recently released. And yeah, I thought I'd let you guys know what's my opinion. Anyway, here's the typical box that GS provides us with. Decent enough cable, has some tips, has a cleaning tool. So I mean, we already know what to expect. It's simple, but that's it. I would have liked a little bit more, but it is what it is. Anyway, this is the package. As for the IEMs themselves, here they are. Okay, this is not the standard shell that they have. I actually asked them to be customized to have the SE11, which is the tribrid SE11 shell. So it's all clear with this very, let me just zoom this in a little bit, all clear with this very nice faceplate. Inside you can see the dynamic driver, and then the BAs themselves, again the typical Sonyan and Knowles combination with a 10.2mm dynamic, and that's it. 3 bores, I think you can see them, there you go, 3 bores. And yeah, fit, perfect, flawless, with my ears at least. It's flawless, nothing to really complain about that. Quality is top notch. I mean, it's really it's well, look, they don't manufacture for certain other high-end brands for the sake of just being their manufacturers. They do it because they are really good. They've been in the market for 10 years, give or take, so they know what they're doing, and you can see it. I mean, you hold a product, and once you've seen your fair share of IEMs, you know when you're holding something that's been properly engineered and properly designed, and this is the case. That's it. Anyway, on to what we all want to know, which is what does it sound like. Okay, some of you might know that I've become a little bit of a GS Audio fanboy. GD7B, and then I got a GD3B, and then I got an SD3, an SD5, ST1, GD3A, GD5. So I've got an ample array of GS products, and all of them have surprised me with certain commonality. One being that the bass on all of them is always really good. It's a very fast, very textured, very clean, very fast bass. It's very good. It might not have monstrous amounts of sub bass, but it has what it needs. But the bass is really nice, and by looking at the graphs themselves, you would never really think that that's the case, which goes to prove what I've already said a few times, which is, let us not always get caught up by what a graph says. Okay, a graph is a starting point, but then listening to it is a different thing, because just the simple fact that we all have a different ear anatomy, the moment you put in the IEM into your ear will add on to the sound signature its own little quirks. And the length of your ear canal, the format of the ear canal, the diameter, everything will change the sound somewhat. So let us not think that graphs are the be all end all. Okay. You might also recall that my favorites thus far were the GD3A. I mean, these things are top. I've just recently acquired TriStar C, for the simple fact that I really wanted to compare this with the TriStar C, and once I've done that comparison, I will also publish it. And when I did the review for this, I said that I doubted that the TriStar C, which was kind of a reference on the 1+2 hybrids, on the $100-$110 mark, I doubted that the TriStar C would beat the GD3A, and what I can say from a quick 10-minute listen on the TriStar C, it doesn't beat it. I was right. But anyway, the GD3A was very good IEM, very good. with regards to the vocals, especially the females. The males were just perfect in the sense that they were not overly warm or laid back or anything, but just on the spot. But the female vocals were something else. Bass fast, clean, highs in the right amount, the right quantity, no sibilance, nothing that you can really point out as a negative. Uh, Perhaps in the technicalities, and by technicalities I'm referring on the soundstage only in terms of the depth, not the width. It could be a little bit better, but otherwise it was plenty of detail retrieval. I mean, this was really something else. And this became my favorite and my most recommended GS Audio earphone, period. The GD7B with its graph or being ruler flat, and then with a very different sound, was very good. The SD3 and SD5 is also very good in their own right. Actually, the SD3 was better than the SD5 because the SD5 I found it to be overly bright. The GD3B is basically this, the GD3A, but it's more recessed in the high end, so it's more closed in, so kind of loses a little bit of that sparkle that you sometimes need. And this was then the perfect, let's say, IEM in terms of what I've heard from GS Audio. And I went as far as to also comparing it with much more expensive IEMs and saying that it would give those IEMs a run for their money. Okay, that's that. Now enter the GD5. And in a nutshell, the GD5 is a grown-up GD3A, period. From what I can visually see, the IEMs, the BAs inside have just been doubled. Okay, they seem to be the same series, same DD, that's for sure. They've just been doubled, and the sound signature that it has is very much what you get in the GD3A. Actually, let me just quickly show you a graph. Okay, here, and yeah. All right, so the GD3A is the blue line, as you can see, and then the GD5 is the green line. Okay. You will see that on paper, at least, it seems that the GD3A has the most bass, and it's not the case. I didn't perceive it that way. What you will notice, yes, excuse me, let me just get this out of the way here. What you will notice is that, yes, the GD3A has a little bit more brightness over here, which could also be coupler related. Okay. But it is, yes, it is a little bit more bright, and that brightness can give it some coldness, which I mentioned. The GD5, which is the green line, as you can see, is, I mean, everything stays within roughly 8 dBs, 10 dBs maximum. The bass, the transition into the mids, the pin gain, you could say, it's a little bit low, it could be a little bit more. Well, I didn't perceive it that way, to be honest. And then the rest over here is relatively, I wouldn't say it's an up and down roller coaster, because we have variation, we have things varying 2-3 dBs sometimes, yeah, but it's not, I mean, it's not terrible, really. The way it sounds doesn't portray what you see here, and it sounds just perfect. It has that, the biggest difference I would say between the GD5 and the GD3A is that the coldness that sometimes we could find here, and in terms of tonality and, well, timbre, you maybe would think that sometimes it was a little bit off or something. On here, in my opinion, it's done better. It's still not perfect, but it's better. That's basically in a nutshell, because the bass is as good as the GD3A. The mids, vocals are perfect. Detail retrieval, absolutely spot on. Soundstage is a little bit deeper, better imaging. Everything has just been improved that little bit extra, just taken up 2-3 steps. and you can hear it. You can hear it if you really take your time and you compare the two. You can hear it, and this has now become my favorite GS Audio IM. This is the one that I think we should go for, honestly. um, the price is around $140, give or take. It puts it in steep competition with some other more well-known brands, let's put it that way. But in terms of a OnePlus 4 that can beat this outright, the only thing that I think that can give it a real go is the Legacy L4, which I don't own, but again, I will endeavor to acquire one to then compare it. And honestly, I do not believe that the Legacy will outright beat the GD5. I don't. Um, this is now one of my top IEMs, without a doubt. And in terms of the hybrids that I currently own, definitely the best hybrid that I currently own. Especially, well, at this price range, I don't have anything superior to it. Okay, anyway, hope you enjoyed this little take on it, and I'll speak to you soon again. Take care, bye bye.